Welcome back to the channel. Today we will be solving round 952 final boss. You are facing the final boss in your favorite video game. The boss enemy has H health and you have N attacks. The ith attack deals AI damage and has a cooldown of CI units. You can use all of your possible attacks all at once. And if all of your attacks are on cooldown, you do nothing for the turn and skip to the next turn. Okay, you need to print how many minimum amount of turns you will require to beat your boss. Now this is a very standard priority queue question. Okay, so here a an attack has two parameters, damage and cooldown. So this is how our queue will be compared. First of all, an attack having higher damage will be preferred more. Okay, big because that attack with higher damage has more chances of putting the boss's health to less than 0. And if I have two attacks of same power, but this has cooldown of 1 second, whether this has cooldown of 2 seconds, so I will choose the attack having less cooldown time. So our priority queue will be sorted as follows. The damage will be decreasing order, and if our damage is equal, then we need to sort it based on increasing cooldown. Okay, now how do we implement this? First, it is very easy to use all your possible attacks in your first turn, but what after? After that you have a cooldown time, and you should know that when do you need to push this attack back in your queue. Now suppose you have a current time X and you are using an attack with cooldown is equal to C of I. Okay, so at time X plus C of I, this attack will come back inside your queue. So at every time you need to insert all of the attacks that are coming back at this particular time. So how can we store that? We can use a map. What will your map do? Map of Y will store various attacks, and map of Y will store those attacks which gets cooldown at Y time. That means when your time reaches Y seconds, you need to push these attacks back in your queue. Now one last concept to handle this test case. Okay, if your cooldown time is very high and you have many turns in which there is nothing happening, so that will lead to unwanted complexity. So if your queue size is currently 0, okay, and your map is having something at X moment, which means you can perform your next operation at the X moment. So I will directly put my time is equal to X and continue, because in this test case my time is first 1. After that my time will become directly 2 lakh and 1. So I will have to skip all the operations between 1 and 2 lakh to improve my time complexity. Okay, now I'll show you how do we implement this. This is the comparator for priority queue. If my damage is not equal, I will return descending order on damage, else ascending order on cooldown. Okay, now this is the map that stores that on this time limit I need to add these many attacks back into my queue, and this is my priority queue. First of all, I push all of the attacks into my priority queue. Okay, now this is the main loop. While queue has something, I will use all of my current attacks whichever is present in my queue. Then I reduce the health of the monster and I set time plus cool as 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 the time instant when this attack will come back inside my queue. And if h is less than 0, I break before I increment my time. Okay, and this loop means that at this time I will add whatever array elements are present back into my queue, which means this time means that at this time limit I will push all of these back into my queue, which I can use eventually over here. And this is if my queue size is 0, I will go to whatever the next key I have and I will fast forward my time to that point. Okay, I have used mp.begin and not upper bound because as and when I am using my operations, I am erasing that value. So eventually my first key of the map will be the next possible time. So hence th this is how the code works. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe and like the video.